Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, we've been having the riots for several weeks now regarding police violence and in numerous cities across the country. I'm and protests. I just said riots, but it's been a mixture of both. More protests than riots. The media isn't going to focus all that much on the protests versus the riots. Now, one of the big problems that we've got here is that we have turned this into a national discussion, which it should be, absolutely, because it is a national problem. But policing is not ruled by national standards, which is really something that we need to have a discussion on. Now, I'm not suggesting or endorsing, and I am absolutely against the formation of a national police force. That has too many negative potentialities. That would not wind up well. So, but we do need to discuss national standards for policing, training, conduct, organization of police departments, civilian oversight of police departments. We need more training for police. As a nurse, I'm trained to deal with violent patients. I've gone through training that was called nonviolent crisis intervention. I've gone through prevention and management of aggressive behavior. In other words, how to take down a violent patient without harming the patient or myself. But police are not trained in these manners. And as far as our non-lethal weapons that police use, these are still violent weapons. I remember a few years ago, 20 years ago, they were developing guns that would shoot a web that would envelop a person and restrain them. What happened to those? They just disappeared into the ether. It was being developed for the military, but that would be a valid tool for police. Why aren't things like this being developed and used? If they're already developed, why aren't they on the market and widely used by police? These are questions for me. There's all kinds of things that play into this. I'm very much in favor of defunding the police and shifting the funding to other social programs, such as helping the homeless, mental health care, family violence, or domestic violence centers, and drug treatment programs. I've been talking about the drug war for years and how much it costs us and how ineffective it is. So many of our prisoners in jails and prisons are in for drug offenses nonviolent drug offenses, it costs less money to treat addiction than to incarcerate an addict. And yet, drug-related crimes are most often where violence will occur regarding the police. Now, there are a lot of people that defend the police that say that policing is a dangerous job. So is nursing. All right, so the Bureau of Labor Statistics compiled a list of the most dangerous jobs in the United States a couple of years ago. I think it was just last year. And policing comes in at number 18. The most dangerous job is fishers and related fishing workers. Number 2, logging workers. Number 3, aircraft pilots and flight engineers. Number 4 is roofers. Number 5, refuse and recyclable material collectors. Number 6, structural iron and steel workers. 7, drivers, sales workers and truck drivers. Number 8, farmers, ranchers, and other agricultural managers. Number 9, first-line supervisors of landscaping, lawn service, and groundskeeping workers. That's more dangerous than being a police officer. Number 10, electrical power line installers and repairers. Number 11, miscellaneous agricultural workers. Number 12, first-line supervisors of construction trades and extraction workers. Number 13, helpers, construction trades. Number 14, maintenance and repair workers, general. Number 15, grounds maintenance workers. Number 16, construction laborers. Number 17, first-line supervisors of mechanics, installers, and repairers. Yes, number 18, police and sheriff's patrol officers. So, I mean, the fact that the police are always portraying how dangerous their job is, that's just a false equivalency. And we need to just stop having this discussion. The police are more dangerous to the public than the public in general is to the police. We need more training for our police for handling domestic violence, mental illness, drug addiction, homelessness, and we need more resources in our society to handle those problems. And all in all, if you reduce funding for police, you know what else you reduce money on? Prisons. We stop spending money on for-profit prisons or even state-run prisons because we don't need them. You don't need, when you have more resources in society that are helping each other instead of trying to punish everything and turn everything into a crime, then what you wind up with is a better functioning, stable society with less violence, less theft. I'm a prison nurse. I see a lot of mentally ill inmates. These people are mentally ill. They don't belong in a prison. They belong under psychiatric care. I've seen prisoners beat their head on the floor or the wall, and that's what they do to themselves. Never mind what they do to other people. A lot of the time they refuse to take their psychiatric drugs, but they will take illegal drugs. And some of the things we've got floating in the prisons, like bath salts, that's some of the worst ever. That you can't imagine how bad these things are until you see the results of them. Most of these people weren't using those drugs out on the street, but because that's all that's available in the prison and it can't be sniffed out by the dogs, that's what they're using here. So, yes, we need to have the national discussion about police violence. Absolutely. But we need to turn this into a guideline. Not a national police force, but guidelines for all cities and states to follow. And as long as those guidelines are met, then everything else just falls into, the city and state's own, hierarchy, sovereignty to organize it and make it functional in their own way. But we need consistency. We need to demilitarize the police. Absolutely. We're seeing more and more crackdowns on public protests, but no changing of what's leading to the protests. Until we band together and start doing something to make these changes national, then I don't see a lot of changes that are going to occur. Little by little, we're seeing some changes at the local level, but we need national change, which we can learn from other countries that don't have these problems. So, and stop giving tax breaks to corporations. Tax and the rich people, tax the living shit out of them for these social programs that will help society, and for wages that lead to so many of our problems. A lot of our problems are brought about by poverty. A lot of crime is caused by poverty. Anyway, please share this video, discuss these issues, and if you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel, and I will talk to you later.